Wait. Cool. Awesome. So we are live back again after a pretty long hiatus that I haven't done a nightcast in a good while. Things got pretty busy over the last month or so. Since it was the last one. How long was the last one, Carlo?
No, since it was August. It was before I left.
Holy shit! It was August.
Yeah, dude, it was August. I remember.
Oh crap! Oh wait! Oh yeah, it was a little. It wasn't it a little bit after Suicide Squad? Yeah, right.
Yeah, because we were talking about it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Um, so we were gone for a good while, but now we're back. We also had a Star Wars Rogue One trailer reaction, which is also up on our channel as we speak. So y'all can go watch that as well. And it went by pretty well. It was actually like really short. I think it was like 30 or 40 minutes, something like that. But anyways, today I'm joined by Carlo, which he had joined me in the last one, as you all remember, and also by a new guest. His name is Luis Alcazar. Luis, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome, amazing. I'm honestly like real damn happy that y'all both are here because y'all are huge movie buffs, and nobody knows the movie industry more than you guys. So, without further ado, we can continue. But there is one thing. We also have two more people joining us. We have Connor, as you guys have seen him before. He's in most of our podcasts. That's cool. And we also have Maverick joining us, and he just texted me saying, "If you're asking me, I ain't got shit. So let me send him his shit again." Oh gosh. Okay, cool. So let me give you guys the topic so you guys can start it off. Um, right away, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this real fast. If it looks like I'm not interested, don't take it like that because I am. That's why you guys are here. Uh, so Netflix pretty much is not, I wouldn't say like robbing or like talking shit about the movie industry, but it's been pretty damn confident because as of lately, it's been having like a lot of good shows. I don't know, have you guys have seen any good Netflix shows lately? Luke Cage, Stranger Things.
I recently saw Luke Cage. I really liked like the first half of the series, and then the second half kind of it didn't kind of work for me. Overall, I still enjoyed it, but Stranger Things is definitely top five.
Definitely top five, like all time or Netflix series.
Netflix series.
Oh, okay. I was
But
about to be like, damn, that's a big statement if it's all time.
but no, for all time, no, not yet. I still have to wait for season 2.
Not yet. Okay. What about you, Carlo?
House of Cards, definitely.
Oh my God! Don't even talk to me
Oh,
about House of Cards.
Yeah,
Boy,
House of Cards.
dude, House of Cards is like,
Like-
No, and I think that's kind of like what we were gonna start talking about was I feel like once Netflix starts rolling out its original films, then that's where it's gonna start taking over the the film industry in terms of distribution into theaters. You know, where people are going to start choosing to stay home.
Yes, exactly. Cool.
And if you think about it, so if you look at the history of film and its relation to theaters, this happened back in 1940s and 1950s, where television started rolling out. Everyone started staying home because they could watch TV. They didn't have to go see a movie, and so I feel like, and then Hollywood decided to reinvent itself with what was called, I think it was a CinemaScope, and so they started playing movies in theaters that were bigger in terms of the screen, and so they used that to attract people to come back to theaters. And so I feel like that's sort of what's happening now, is that people are going to be thinking, well, why should I go to the theater when I can have Netflix, in the comfort of my own home? And so I don't know, maybe we'll see if movie chains will reinvent themselves as they did 60 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad that you mentioned that because uh actually, like, since people say like movie theaters go first, but they say that Netflix is turning them into pretty much what they're starting to call them binge watchers on Twitter,
Yeah.
bed binge watchers. So these people are like the people that we would hate because they're trying to like kill the movie industry, because I've actually talked to a few people that I I've been good friends with like for a long while now. They're huge gamers and everything, and so they're like, I've been like, hey, let's fucking go, like, let's go watch Star Trek Beyond, and they're like, for what? And I'm just like, excuse me, and you know, I can't really like say, oh, because fucking um it's better or something like that, you know, because everybody has their own appeal. Like, if you don't like Star Trek, okay, cool, but this guy, he was
Mhm.
like, no, like, I don't want to go just because I have Netflix at home. And at that point I realized, at first I was like, okay, you have Netflix at home, okay. And then he was like, yeah, so I haven't gone to the movies in like 6 months. And I'm like,
Okay.
excuse me, motherfucker, like, yeah. And I told him, I was all like, dude, you're literally the first person that I've heard say this type of stuff. And then he's all like, no, 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 I actually know like a few other people or more people
Mhm.
that do the same thing. Like, they don't go out, they don't see movies, they don't anything. Like, they just stay in and watch Netflix. Like, that's all they do, or Hulu or something. You know, that's what keeps them from going to movies.
You know what those
And
people basically remind me of is that episode in SpongeBob SquarePants when SpongeBob stays indoors the entire episode.
oh yeah,
That's basically what they remind me
yeah.
So
But
in
like, at the same time, before I let you guys hit at it again, at the same time, you know, uh I feel like it is sort of like history repeating itself, like you said.
Mhm.
Back in the 40s, 50s, when pretty much television was like, why the fuck, I have TV at home, why the fuck should I go out, waste time or waste money or something like that? These people can pay $7, $8 a month, and they get movies, TV shows, and they're starting to become better quality now. Like, they're
And-
actually starting
yeah.
to be real good screenwriters, real good.
Also,
of. Oh, just move it away from me.
oh, sorry. That's because I'm trying to get more coverage here. Okay, so that's what I was gonna say is that even yeah, okay, it's cheaper and the quality is there, and so that's sort of forcing um, theaters to it's pushing movie theaters into like this really small corner for them to sort of come out and reinvent themselves, you know,
Mhm.
because um, as you said, Netflix, it's rolling out really good TV shows. And once it starts rolling out really good original films, then that I think that's going to put in effect onto theaters. And so they're going to have to think something to overcome that obstacle, which
Yeah.
maybe I, which maybe they won't be able to. Maybe streaming is the future and theaters are going to die out.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that, and that we can also go up until like 5 to 10 years from now, because if there is one damn good thing that actually I see that someone is heading the right direction, is Apple, because pretty much Apple is everything, saying like apps are pretty much the future of television. And in a way, I actually understand, because if you think about it, now you can stream 4K. You need a high ass connection, yeah, but you can stream 4K. Um, I mean, at this point, I think you can do a stream native 4K, but at the current point in time that we're at right now, you can only do native 4K if you have a 4K Blu-ray player. But like House of Cards, is you can stream it in 4K. I think Stranger Things, you can also stream it in 4K. What was it? What was the other one? It was like something lock. I think it was like a thriller sort of suspense type of TV show with like a killer. Hemlock Grove, I think it was called Hemlock. Was it Hemlock Grove? Um,
It's familiar.
yeah, it's also a Netflix original, and that one also has like what you call it? Yeah, support for 4K. So all these things that have support for 4K, like, we're pretty much all moving there, whether
Yeah,
we like
and
it or not. I mean,
no,
technology. But what do you have to say, Luis? I want to hear what you got to say.
Wow. I do think that these streaming sites like Netflix and Hulu are basically is what the future is going to be full of, and that theaters are most likely going to die out in the next decade or a couple decades. But the thing about that is that I don't think I fully support that, because then all it's going to be is just people just going to be sitting on their couches and watching streaming movies rather than going out and experiencing it, to the theaters. Because that's why we love going to the movies. It's like we feel like we're doing something, number one, and going out and experiencing some shit, rather than just sitting at home, which is what I do on a regular basis on a weekend. Why would I want to keep on doing that? But but no, yeah, I definitely think that Netflix is definitely doing this, and they're doing it at a significantly better job than how theaters are doing. And I definitely think that the movie industry has to definitely up its original content game up. Otherwise, Netflix and Hulu are definitely going to be, all the talk about it.
Yeah, that's actually like that's very that's like it sucks to think about it, but it's like one of those things where it's just like, well, fuck it, it's gonna happen type of shit. Like, I mean, I love my Xbox to death and everything, but eventually Xbox is gonna become PC, PS4 is gonna become PC, everyone is going to goddamn PC. So I can't even like complain about anything because we're all heading that way either way. Just like we're all heading to streaming, just like we're all headed to apps. But I wanted to ask you guys sort of like out of the blue. I did not tell you guys this off air because I wanted like hear your natural reaction. So since you guys are studying to be somewhere or want to be somewhere in the film industry, how do you guys think? There's two parts to this question. So how do you guys think that when do you think that time is gonna be when actual filmmakers like storytellers, amazing storyboard artists, or amazing like visual effects presentators and illustrators and developers and everything, when they start jumping ship to pretty much that they can't even see the difference between TV shows, Amazon Prime shows, Hulu shows, Netflix movies, in movie industries, like I think that eventually it's going to become the norm. Like you're not even going to be, hey, Maverick is here.
Hey, what's up?
Maverick, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up, Jordan?
Okay, awesome. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Awesome. So what we have going on here is pretty much like a big conjunction of topics. But just real quick, guys, this is Maverick. If you guys haven't met him before, he was actually in the Star Wars Rogue One trailer reaction. You're a sophomore, right, Maverick?
Yes.
Cool.
Sophomore.
Awesome. So this is Carlo. I don't know if you've met him before, but this is Carlo, and this is Luis. They're former Coronado students as well, so they're not strangers. But you came in at such a damn right time, because I know you love also movies, and you're starting to become more of a movie buff with us, even like being more enthusiastic towards it for you guys, like the younger pretty much audience. And so going back to the question, since you guys are studying to be like in the film industry and everything, or want to be in the film industry, so when it becomes the norm to where, let's say, I don't know, a job pops out and it's like, fuck, I don't even know what movie to mention. Harry Potter, the goddamn 28th movie or something like that. And they're like, cool, so we need a writer. We're gonna need, well, everybody, the regular, pretty much behind the scenes cast and team to make the movie.
Right.
So then these people are gonna be like, okay, I don't see the difference between it being an actual movie, between it being a Netflix movie, between it being a Hulu movie, because everything is gonna be like, as the quality is gonna be there for every single, I guess, pretty much service. Like whether it's theater service, whether it's a streaming service, whether it's pretty much like Netflix service.
Like it's all gonna meld together.
Yeah, and like everything is just the same. Just like in the movie, just like in the video game industry, that they're like the indie games, they're not even fucking indie games anymore. Like those bitches, Witcher 3 won like God knows how many Game of the Year awards. Like that game can't be distinguished from the big ones like Call of Duty or Battlefield or something. But it was made by a small team. Like it's an independent developer that made it. They're not published by Activision or anybody else. So that's what I mean. Like when it becomes a norm, like when that becomes a norm, where are you guys gonna come in the picture to where, since you guys grew up with the old school, the thing that we have like right now and we had before, of course, after the 50s, and so of shooting movies and everything like for a theater audience, how are you guys gonna feel like? Because I don't know if you guys have feelings for like old school filmmaking, but I'm pretty damn sure y'all do because
I like old school films. Those are my favorite. I take a visual media class where that's all we do is sit down and watch movies all day. And it's awesome.
yeah, exactly, and that's what's cool about it because it's different. Like you see those movies and you probably see like, let's say like Netflix movies that have like 2 stars or some shit like that, or see like TV shows or something like that, they're not even that good, and you just see the difference, you know. But that's what I'm getting to, that when you guys end up studying it, like say like 10 15 years where you guys are really good already, like well deep in the industry, that are you guys even going to be able to tell the difference between traditional movie making and pretty much like these services making their movies?
Well, I think what's happening now is a lot of filmmakers are starting to go towards these streaming services to sort of put their movies out there. And to be honest, I don't really see much of a difference. I mean, there's still the same story, and they're still going to go about the same way as producing them as they would as any traditional film production. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
For example, Amazon has Amazon Studios where you can send in your script and it can be eventually turned into a movie. And a lot of filmmakers are actually using Amazon Studios as part of their production team. And so it really doesn't matter. And it's, as a filmmaker, it's just basically just putting your work out there, you know?
Yeah.
And so as long as the story's there, I don't think there's really much of a difference.
Yeah, I kind of agree also because I think it was like 2 days ago we were on Netflix and we saw this trailer for a Netflix original film, and Carlo actually thought this was like a trailer for a movie like on a Blu-ray that I popped in, but no, I was like, no, this is a Netflix original. And I was so astounded by the quality of it, and that they actually found a story that is really captivating and catching your attention. So I honestly don't think that there will be a difference in the future. I'm pretty sure that everything will, basically melt together, and basically how Carlos says that as long as it has a great story, I mean, just go for it, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see where you guys are coming from. That if the story remains like, I guess, intact, like if the story is there, the writing is there. Before I continue, Connor, welcome. How's your night going?
Hi, I'm here.
I'm here. So Luis is here as our guest, and also Carlo. You've met Carlo before, and also Maverick is here. So I'm glad both of you guys can join us. Hopefully Miguel can join us soon. He said he wanted to join. But you're gonna get the hang of what we're talking about. Because I don't want to like give like a huge brief overview, but it's pretty much traditional filmmaking or just films in general, moving over to pretty much streaming services and stuff like that. So getting back to where I was saying, so I mean, I understand what you guys are saying, that as long as the story's there, the writers are there, the filmmakers are there, directors are there. So as long as everything stays the same, then I feel like you guys are gonna think that, because that's the same way I think when it comes to video games. Like as long as it's got a good writer, as long as the frame rate is smooth, as long as the graphics are good, like I'm set, I'm good. So I understand your guys' point from that, but so then would you guys care, like let's say it does become the norm, would you guys care that even eventually like movie theaters would start like shutting down because let's say the new Star Wars movie is gonna come out on Netflix? So pretty much people, there's no use of going to the movies anymore if you can just watch it on Netflix or Hulu or get a good spin off of it.
It's something that as a filmmaker you have to adapt, because if you sort of just stay yourself in this one central sort of location where you're just kind of rejecting like
The future, basically.
then you're putting yourself into this sort of own little prison where you can't get yourself out of, that you're
Right,
not,
right. And I'm not speaking like successful wise. Like of course if you want to make money or if you want to make a movie or anything, if let's say if Disney's like, Netflix, I want y'all to make a spin-off series of fucking, I don't know, Ahsoka or Anakin when he was smaller or some shit like that, then Disney's not gonna be like no, because like let's say by that time Netflix or Hulu or whoever gets offered that contract, their movies are already top notch, they're already top quality, so they're gonna be like, oh, fuck yeah, we'll make it, or fuck yeah, like we'll take Disney's offer or something like that, because they're eventually gonna be that good. So I'm not talking about it being successful, because eventually, like, we're all humans, we all adapt to different things, of course, if we want to survive, whether it's financially or wherever the hell. But I guess what I'm saying is that is it actually going to be, because like Carlo was saying, in the 40s, 50s, as soon as televisions were available, everyone was like, fuck movies, we'll just stay at home. But then more movies started coming out and everything, so people were like, oh, I see the quality, I'm going back to the damn movies. So that now there is, after this, is there no more going back to the movies because pretty much the quality is going to be there, or you think the ecosystem is going to be shared upon everyone? But like again, like I mentioned in the beginning, the fucking bed binge watchers, those motherfuckers, they don't give a shit if they're good quality at the theaters. They're like, nope, I'll fucking wait till it comes out on Netflix.
It all depends on how the movie chains react, because they're going to have to bring something up to make people come back to theaters.
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean.
I don't know what it could be, but it could be like something bigger than IMAX or something more inventive.
Exactly. That's exactly what I want you guys to say.
And maybe
that could probably bring back audiences.
No, but maybe, that's not going to happen. Maybe the movie chains are going to say, you know what, fuck it. Like, we can't do anything. Like, there's nothing else that we can do. Fucking let streaming, like, take over, So it could go either way, but I would love to see something that movie chains, they sort of, they think of, that they can say, like, this is what's going to bring audience back to the theaters. I would love to see that.
I think it will, because a few years ago, all we had, like, not even a few years ago, like a decade ago, IMAX didn't even exist, not even D-Box.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so, all we had was just like regular cinemas where it would fit like a good 43 people in a theater. And then later, like, more box office movies or more blockbuster movies came out, and like really big movies, and that's when IMAX was created. And then like even more bigger blockbuster movies started coming out, and they were like, you know what, we want you have like an experience. So that's when D-Box came out. So I think the movie theaters is all about getting an experience rather than just sitting at your couch and watching it streaming. Because you can see the movie, but going to the theater is all about an experience. So I'm pretty sure the theaters are going to like evolve something and start like creating something so theaters could still be operating. And like, I'm being optimistic here, but could it be possible? I think it can, but
okay, but let me just say this. I don't think no one has been like, oh, dude, let's go see this movie in theaters because it has D-Box. Like,
okay, no. Wait, no. No, but wait. Hold the fuck up. wait. Okay, this is where the shit talking starts. So then I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. But but and Connor, I'll let you go right after this. But I I actually, after I watched I've watched movies in IMAX before, but after I watched Star Wars in IMAX and after I watched Star Trek Beyond in IMAX, I I went to like the regular ones and I was like I don't know, it just wasn't the same for me. Like for me, when I went to go see Star Wars in IMAX, like it felt fucking revolutionary to me. Like I was tripping balls. I was like, holy shit, the TIE fighters sound like goddamn loud as hell. And like just everything, like even the what they filmed it on, I think it was on 96, the cameras, on the IMAX cameras, and it was fucking like it was legit. And I feel completely different. Like when I actually saw it in an actual, like in a regular just like 2D, I if I feel different. Like I didn't feel like revolution. And then I went to go see Star Trek Beyond as well, and I was like, holy shit, like what the fuck? It's completely different. And I mean, maybe it's just me, but I talked to some other people and they were like, dude, yeah, I haven't watched the fucking regular movie in God knows how long. Like, I mean, I don't want to make it sound like like people who go to the regular screenings or whatever, like they're not getting the same experience, because of course, like I said before, everybody experiences everything like differently. You feel about it differently as well. Personally, me, when I'm gaming, I can't game without headphones. Like I can't, whether I fucking play FIFA and just hear people, the fucking stands or the crowds or something, whatever the hell it is, I like to be like 100% in there, like immersed. And that's what I felt like I was in IMAX. So that's what I mean. Like, do you think that there's gonna be something revolutionary, like to bring it back? Connor, what do you think? If you can hear me. Oh, I can hear you. No, Connor, we can't hear you. Wait, don't, calm down. Don't like die on me. Disconnect your headphones and plug them in again.
What about now?
Yeah, okay, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay, good. I just think it goes a lot to go with the visual experience of everything, because like some of the biggest movies like Gravity, Interstellar, and Revenant are all just so amazing because you get to go see them and experience them in the theater. Mm-hmm. And like those movies, they're not the same to watch at home. Like just no matter what TV you have, it's just so much different, And like I know for big movies, it's like just the experience of being in a theater is so much different. Like here we have the Plaza Classic Film Festival every year, and going to go see Indiana Jones with hundreds and hundreds of other people is just so much more gratifying than watching it at home. So I just think the community within the theater is great on its own. And like visually, like I remember a while ago, I don't know how long ago it is, but with Game of Thrones, they were like, we're going to release a few episodes like the season finale in IMAX, And so I think it goes all entail, between the visual and just the social aspect of being able to interact with the crowd, like laughing at the same time at the crowd, like Jaws in the big screen at the Plaza Film Festival. And like when the severed head just rolls out of the boat, it was amazing because everybody shit their pants at the exact same time. Like, and that was just the greatest thing ever, because then everybody would scream and then you'd laugh at it with everybody else.
Yeah, and you see that's I'm glad you're making that point, because that's the line that I see when it comes to what we were talking about earlier with Carlo and Luis, that streaming movies or Netflix movies are eventually going to become the norm. So like if you're watching it at home, let's say you are getting that same experience with the story, with the acting, with the quality, the effects, the editing, everything. You're getting everything pretty much theater quality. But when you go see a movie, you feel, especially like such a, let's say like even like Adam, what movie could I mention? I guess like Star Wars. When I went to go see Revenant, like I didn't even see, I swear it wasn't even like a young audience. It was like from 30s and up type of audience, 25 years and up type of audience. And everyone was just like so hooked and so into the movie. And it's just, I mean, just personally, it's just a good feeling that you go and experience something and other people are there to experience the same thing because y'all share the same passion or the same love for what you're about to watch or experience. So that's what I was talking about with Carlo and Luis, that yeah, it eventually is going to become the norm, and yeah, it's going to have the same story, the same acting, the same quality and everything, just as good as in the actual theater. But that, I guess, that chemistry with what you would have with traditional movies in the theater wouldn't be the same. What do you think, Carlo?
I'm sorry, can you repeat all of that?
Wait.
Boy,
You just killed Jordan.
Okay.
Just killed Jordan.
Okay. Go ahead, Connor.
Well, what I would say, just in terms of the social aspect, like the only thing I can see replacing that, and it already is in some respects, is just something like Twitter. You know, like people being able to tweet about the, you know, Luke Cage when Luke Cage comes out, like that community being able to tweet about it with a bunch of people. In a sense, like for some people, that is like the community. Like I think the difference, this is gonna, all this streaming and stuff is just gonna further, you know, divide whether or not, you know, you watch a movie just because you're bored, or like you go to the movies actively and like movies are your passion.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I think that even still, what I think.
You didn't even hear me, nigga.
I did. I was just joking.
He's trying to make it up as he goes.
I was just kidding. Go ahead.
I forgot what I was gonna say. What I like about what these streaming services do, and I think it's important, is that they're still able to give that sort of like communal reaction, where even though you can experience something through a streaming service, you can still like share that experience with someone else. So I think that's why where they're succeeding, is because they're able to keep that sort of experience right in like your very own home, and be able to talk about it with people who share that same experience, you know? So it's more of a community sort of thing.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there.
Yeah, makes sense. Luis, do you have anything to add on to that?
No, I basically agree with everything he said.
Oh.
Or were you just not listening either?
No one was listening to you, Jordan.
No.
Nobody. No, everyone was like, so anyways, about that Star Wars trailer.
Like, even Maverick left. He was like, fuck this.
Yeah,
he was like,
I wasn't. I basically agreed. I just didn't want to repeat everything that Carlo.
He was like, y'all are old as fuck. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
I'm gonna go stream something on Netflix.
Yeah, probably.
No, he wasn't ready. Okay, cool. So, real fast. Okay, so long story short, concluding that huge ass. What time did we start? Did we start at 11? We started at 11, right? Or yeah, I don't know your time. But long story. I'm sorry, I just got a text message. Long story short, like you guys feel safe about adapting to streaming service, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the film business is
like, yeah, because we're lazy asses.
Because like the film industry is all about evolving. Because at first it was the silent picture, and then we moved on to the talk, and now we've been.
You guys are old.
And then
talkies.
Yeah, the talkies, man. And then
back in my day.
And then we have television, and now we're moving on to streaming. So I'm pretty sure that's where the direction is going. So it's all about evolving into the next big thing.
Awesome. Fuck yeah.
I think what will happen is that there will be like these big, you know, most of it will be streamed online, but there will be like these big events, you know, where people group together, you know, in basically a theater to watch, you know, probably the season finale of Game of Thrones or something.
Oh my god, that would be awesome.
And that's basically it. All goes back to like the community sort of thing. I think that's how the movie chain theaters are going to survive, is sort of if they hold events like that, you know, where they can adapt also to this new technology.
Yeah, cool. I mean that's why I wanted to ask you guys because um I don't see like why there's so many people that are actually like mad about streaming taking over like their actual movie industry and everything. But you know what? Everybody adapts. Like eventually technology moves forward,
Mhm.
and so do we. Because if we fucking don't, then we're pretty much gonna be the sorry ass losers because everything is everything is technology now. Fucking days, like everything, legitimately everything. Um, so
Yeah, definitely everything needs to adapt. Like even just on like a small scale, like before there was a Alamo Draft House, I would always go to the Cinemark. And now that we just have an Alamo Draft House here in El Paso, like I don't want to go to another theater just because they're the community. Like it's definitely a movie lover, environment. So it's just so much. Every time now I go see a movie, it's there. Like it's not even if the movie is only playing at the Cinemark, I just won't go.
yeah, awesome, cool. So that concludes that topic. So next topic, well, it's not really a topic, but it's something I did want to ask you guys. What do you guys think about the Star Wars trailer?
Samsung Note 7. Oh,
That
This
trailer,
motherfucker's like, I haven't even seen it.
that trailer just got me even more hyped. That even more than Doctor Strange, and
Just kidding. Same.
anything Star Wars related gets me more excited for a Marvel movie. More excited than a Marvel movie. But no,
If Miguel
yeah,
were here, he would already be strangling you because Miguel is. Oh no, wait. Oh yeah. Because Miguel loves Marvel. Like he hates DC. Miguel secretly works for Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh yeah,
and
you should listen to him,
yeah.
Miguel. Anything DC, he'll just
Anything DC, he's like, I liked it, but let me tell you why it fucking sucks balls, and he'll just go on a huge ass rant and shit. So.
but no, yeah, I really loved the new Rogue One trailer and that moment that we know everyone here has been waiting for. When Vader pops out of the smoke.
Oh, that was nice.
That is the moment we all pissed in our pants, and that's the moment we were all like, "This movie's gonna be awesome. This movie is gonna be great."
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. Connor, did you also like the trailer?
Yeah, I mean, I'm more just the scope of everything they showed is what gets me more excited than anything.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we talked about this a little bit already, like in the other podcast, but the fact that like just there's all these different areas, planets, it just looks awesome.
Cool. Dope. I definitely agree. If you guys haven't seen our Star Wars Rogue One trailer reaction, you guys can. It's not even that long. It's like around 36 minutes. But anyways, moving on. Since we were laughing our asses off at this, Note 7 exploding.
fuck yeah.
since Luis wanted to say something about this, go ahead, Luis.
Did I really?
Yeah, you were like, oh, I have so much shit to talk about that.
Oh no,
that was Carlo.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Like, I want to hear what you have to say. I really do.
So there was like this news headline where fucking a plane had to make an emergency landing because Galaxy Note 7 had caught on fire on board. Fucking.
No way.
It's like a car going off outside, and it's so annoying.
Is there like are you guys like smoking weed and your alarm went off?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, definitely, dude. And,
Careful.
I just think that's fucking hilarious,
Oh, it so is.
how a fucking phone can like fuck you up in like like it can literally kill you, dude. Like,
and wasn't that like already the recalled phones? Like that was the replacement phone, wasn't it? Like the replacement phones for the phones exploding are still exploding. Like that's when you know you're screwed.
Like you know what I'm like. I mean, I'm not.
exploding phones.
I'm not an Apple person, or I'm not an Android person or whatever.
Marcus is gonna kill you.
I know, and Marcus is gonna kill me the fuck because I just got the 7 and he's gonna get pissed the fuck off. I thought you liked it. I do like it and everything. It's nice, but what I mean is that I liked all technology equally. But
All
Just a
technology.
lover of everything.
Yeah, like I'm a tech geek. I'm fucking sorry. I'm a big ass nerd. But when it comes to shit like that, dude, like, I don't even like. So many people are like, oh, I'm sorry for Samsung, and I'm just like, fam, dude. They announced like 2 days ago that they're gonna lose $10 billion in revenue just from now up until December 12th, I think, something like that.
They completely halted productions on it. Like they're not making it anymore, which is awesome for Apple because they're gonna basically everybody. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, not like they need a shit ton of money anyway.
yeah, I
They're
mean,
making,
no, they
you know.
definitely don't need money. I mean, they can be
Yeah.
success. Just like Nintendo's gonna come out with their new console, and they could fucking flop and still be good for the decade or some shit. Like these companies don't need money whatsoever. It's just like it just sucks that things like this happen, dude. Like Carlo just said with the airplane. Imagine if that shit would have exploded and it would have been a tragedy because of a goddamn phone. Because, dude, they would have been like, I don't know how many people would be on that plane that would be dead because of a lithium-ion battery.
Do you think a company could survive something like that?
Out on? 'Cause
Yeah, you can.
Sorry, one at a time, guys. One at a time.
what did I just miss out on? Because I'm going back
Oh.
and hearing about planes.
Boy,
and
you missed a shit ton.
Boy, Carlo, you missed it. I mean, Maverick, you missed the shit. I'm just kidding. No, you didn't miss a lot. We were just talking about well, we just continued of the streaming services and everything. But okay. Next one. Or do you guys have anything to add on to that? Just saying.
Do you think a company could survive
They can.
survive like if their phone was responsible for an airplane tragedy?
I think
something on that
if
scale?
it was responsible for that?
I don't even know.
their next one has to be like fucking foolproof, you know? It has to be.
And then some. It has to save people.
You know what?
Yeah, has to cure cancer.
Dude, it has to float around like in a safety bubble or some shit, like so
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt anyone.
It basically has to be Jarvis from fucking Iron Man, dude. That's how good it has to be in order to save a company.
Yeah, I don't think it can. I don't think you would be able to pull back from that. To be honest,
No.
like, that's too much. Okay, cool. So here I have two different types of games that we're gonna play. Okay, and it's not like some like bullshit or whatever. But it's something that I've seen other people
Do we get
do,
prizes?
and it's pretty cool. No, you get a big ass shout out though. So.
All right. On this podcast, I'm excited.
Cool.
Yeah.
So with this game is called One Gotta Go. I'll give you three choices,
Okay.
and they're gonna be well, I'm not gonna tell you what they're gonna be, but they can be franchises, actors, plot lines, stories, directors, and one has to go. All right.
Okay.
Cool. So one has to go, and one has to pretty much be killed out. So
how many have to go?
one. So one has to go. Just one has to go. You can keep two,
Okay.
but one has to go.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So first one, Star Wars, Harry Potter,
Mm-hmm.
Game of Thrones. Carlo, go first.
Fucking
has to go.
Harry Potter has to go.
Okay. Luis?
And yeah, Luis.
I love all three. Game of Thrones has way too much.
Carlo is like this
That
motherfucker.
has to stay. Game of Thrones has way too much writing on it, and that has to stay.
Boy.
Star Wars is barely starting a new revolution. Yeah, I basically have to agree with Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Connor?
Maverick's shaking his head. I haven't even watched Game of Thrones because
But you know the
Same.
magnitude of that damn show.
I mean I know, but exactly, there's too much nipple in it for me so far. You know, it's a no for my parents, but just I know it enough to be. It has to be Harry Potter.
Okay. Maverick?
I know people will hate me. Lots of my friends love that. but-
I say Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. You can hate me all you want, but Game of Thrones.
I just met you now, and I already hate you.
Oh my god.
It's like, I just met you, nigga, and I already hate your ass.
That's the first thing he said, and he already got hated.
Someone said Game of Thrones is just porn. Luis, is that true?
Game of Thrones is just what?
Porn.
No,
That
it
sounds
is
true.
not. People like if they just
tried
say
to
it's
watch
just
it.
porn, then they're just like watching. They're just like coming on in the wrong places. They're not even paying attention. you know. But
No
no,
pun intended.
so much more than that.
Luis is really triggered right now.
Triggered?
Carlo, I showed you the first episode.
Did you just judge my show? Did you assume my gender?
Do I assume my gender? No, but I think we all agree that Game of Thrones basically has, except for this fucker, it has too much writing. Has too much writing on it, and it just cannot go right now because basically the whole world would be so pissed off. But I can agree with Harry Potter has to go. Even though I like that franchise, it has to go because the original series is done. All they're basically doing is just a spin-off. It has to go.
Okay, cool. So
I can't argue against that. I don't think I want to argue against him.
okay, so
I'm scared to argue against it. I'm 16 years old. He's gonna beat me up.
Exactly.
Don't barking. No biting.
okay, wait. Maverick.
Nope.
Since you're the only one that's against Game of Thrones, why? Like, do you
Well,
just like Harry Potter and Star Wars a lot? Or is it just
no,
because
they're both going in some like new direction from something that they both started off differently. Like Star Wars, you had the New Hope, it started off as that, and then you got the prequels and all that. Now you're with Harry Potter, which is
Don't
also
mention the
starting
prequels.
to like
Anyways.
spin-off of movies, just like Star Wars is. And Game of Thrones is just a TV show.
Okay.
I'm gonna let
That last sentence sort of like hit the nail on the head. It's just a TV show.
It's just a TV show.
But
They all end. They all end.
Luis, what do you have to say to that?
That
It's just a TV show and it can't be compared to a full-fledged flagship franchise like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars.
personally, I think it already is at the height of popularity compared to Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, because I mean
Star Wars.
and Star Wars, but
Dude, Lord of the Rings. Okay.
well,
continue.
I'm comparing it to like Lord of the Rings, because it's almost somewhat similar.
Yeah. Epic.
But I think because I recently saw this show on YouTube, and they basically said that like Game of Thrones is like becoming so popular because of each season that they actually believe it's going to be as popular or even more so than Lord of the Rings, because the Hobbit trilogy really hurt that trilogy,
Oh my god, dude! Don't even talk
really
to me
does.
about The Hobbit, bro. Dude.
I was looking forward to that trilogy as much as the next person, but
Oh my god, you have no goddamn clue. So one of the few reasons why I actually started like actually getting into reading books, it was because of the Lord of the Rings, because it would be like, dude, if you've seen the movie, you need to read the damn book. So I did, and I was like, holy shit, like these things are great. And it has it has like awesome characters, awesome plotline and everything. So then I mean, for Game of Thrones to be that big or become just as big, that's actually a pretty big statement for Maverick as a TV show.
Yeah, basically.
It's pretty crazy.
All right.
Cool,
If we're done with this topic, can I ask a quick question?
Go for it.
Have any of you seen Black Mirror?
No, you brought this up twice, dude.
No, I have not.
Okay, but
He's like
this is
so hung up
for
on
the
it.
new people.
Have we seen what now?
Black Mirror.
I have not.
Okay, so just first of all, Black Mirror is my favorite show of all time.
Quick synopsis.
It's okay. So it's an anthology series, so I can't like give a. It's by the BBC, and now it's on Netflix. Like it's a Netflix original or whatever. And it's like the same creative team and whatever. It's basically Twilight Zone, but for the modern age.
Okay, I think
And
I'd be really down for that type of series.
It's amazing. It's like I've had an existential crisis basically after every episode.
Well, thank you for
The
bringing
first
that up.
episode, this is all somebody told me about it, was the first episode, and it was enough just like curiosity wise to get me want to see it. The first episode is a story of somebody taking somebody hostage and then forcing the prime minister to have sex with a pig.
Whoa.
And that's what the entire episode is about.
Holy shit! I remember this. I remember you mentioned this in the first Nightcast, right?
Yeah.
Oh
it's
my god!
favorite
I was
show.
tripping the fuck out when this guy told me this.
No, yeah,
I was
that's
like, now we talk about fucking pigs like on the show, and I was like, okay.
that's
You had me at sex with pigs, Nicey. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah.
But I'd be really interested in watching the series. It sounds interesting.
It's called Black Mirror,
Yeah,
right?
it's Black Mirror, and the new series is coming out on, I think, the 28th, 23rd. I've probably said a different date on the other podcast, but yeah, it's awesome.
Okay, cool.
The trailer's out for it. Yeah, looks awesome.
Cool. So
I
if
can't
you
wait.
guys are into sex with pigs, y'all can go watch that.
Yeah.
I mean,
sex
I've
with
honestly,
pigs.
since the first time you told me about it, it's not like I wanted to watch it because of that, but I was all like, damn, that sounds pretty like
Sure.
It sounds intriguing. I like to watch creepy shit. I watch American Horror Story so much.
If you're into sex with pigs and having existential life crises and staring blankly at your wall for hours, this is the show.
Awesome.
If you want to like think deeply about life and existence, go for it.
Okay.
At least that's what it had on me.
Okay.
I was like, whoa.
Next one. Are you guys ready for the next one gonna go?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So now we're gonna start with you, Maverick, then Connor, then Luis, and then Carlo. So
right.
one gotta go. We have 3 of these because I have like franchise, and then I have a person, and then I actually have like story. So this one's gonna be person. So it's gonna be one has to go. It's either Wolverine, Iron Man, or Batman.
Iron Man. Iron Man's gotta go.
Okay. Connor?
I'd have to go Iron Man too. Yeah.
Dang. Y'all hate Iron Man so damn much.
No, we don't hate him.
Yeah. It's just
see
it's
too
like
much of-
my 2 favorite characters though are Batman from DC and
No, really? Just kidding.
Wolverine. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Luis, go ahead.
Don't hate me, but Wolverine.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say Batman. I was about to shut this
I would
shit down.
never say Batman.
Yeah.
Never say Batman. The reason
Batman's
I say Wolverine
greatest.
is because technically Hugh Jackman is already going to be leaving the Wolverine franchise because Wolverine is gone already. So technically, I took the easy route because we're not going to be seeing Wolverine for a while now. So that's like clearly the answer right there.
If he wasn't leaving, would you want to see more of him, like an old man Logan kind of thing? Like
No,
I
because
feel
I feel like that character has already been fleshed out. There's like nothing we can do more in the X-Men franchise. So
Dude, that X-Men franchise is like
Oh, that's so.
Dude, I didn't even see Apocalypse.
don't.
it's not that great.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's okay. You're in no rush. You can watch it when it comes out on TV.
On TV.
Next year.
Yeah, on TV. Carlo, what about you?
I agree with Luis. I would have to say Wolverine.
Okay.
Wolverine. I don't like any of them except Batman.
Okay. I mean, I completely agree. I would have to say, shit. I completely agree with Batman being like there, but
Okay.
as far as character wise,
It's tied, dude. It's all down to you.
Maker.
uh,
You say Batman.
plot twist, Batman. No shit. I probably have to say, yeah, Wolverine, just because the X-Men series has gone to shit lately. So, yeah. Okay, last one. And this one's gonna be sort of like tough, but it's just gonna be 2 choices.
Okay.
So, goddamn. Okay, because I have 4. Like I have like 2 sets, but I don't know which one I should pick. Somebody pick a number from 1 through 20.
15.
19.
Okay.
Wait, what,
cool.
what happened? What happened?
Nothing. Never mind. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
This is
I
funny.
just started hearing numbers.
Okay. Cool. So two plot lines for movies, which have been, I think, the biggest in the last, what could I say, decade or so.
Okay.
And I did mention them pretty much already, but not as franchises, just as plot lines and stories, and how they've progressed like through the years, whether you think they're being good or whether you think they've been milked out before or not. Star Wars or Harry Potter, and in the direction of the future. We'll start with Luis.
Which stories have been milked out the most? Like
No. I'm saying that both franchises, whether you think they've been milked out or not, as in more than 5 movies, and still having future movies and spin-offs, both of them are. That's why I'm putting them head to head.
because I think they both franchises have
Like,
potential.
what I mean by one gotta go is one needs to be like, let's say eventually Star Wars is better than fucking Harry Potter, and Harry Potter dies out, or vice versa. Like, what just completely gets trashed?
Oh, well, then I would have to say Harry Potter.
Okay.
Because like with Star Wars, it's a galaxy, you know? There's like so much to do. There's so many stories you can do. Especially with the Old Republic, that would be such an amazing
Oh my god, bro, don't even talk to me about the Old Republic.
franchise, Netflix series to do. It'd be so much to. It'd be fantastic. So
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so Carlo.
Harry Potter's like a no-brainer, dude, because I feel like Harry Potter's already been milked out, for everything that it has.
Call of Duty.
And
Just
so, in fucking Call of Duty, yeah. But it's because, like, dude, every time a new Star Wars film comes out, everyone's like, no one has like a negative opinion about it,
Mhm.
For Harry Potter, it's just like, I mean, we already know like what's gonna happen, like what it's about, But with Star Wars, it's something different each time,
That's
So-
why we all love Star Wars. Connor?
Woo! Yeah, Harry Potter. Just the world with Harry Potter. It's always going to be wizards. And dealing with other wizards. But with the world of Star Wars, you just have so many, just spectrums of things it can go into. Like, I just want to see like more bounty hunters. Like, I know I pitched this unsuccessfully on our own like pod clash, but I really want to see like more in depth, with the stormtroopers, like just what they do. Like, the most in depth look we had was just this, Force Awakens, and that was, a defective one. I want to see, more just, in depth stuff like
Didn't
that.
you
And
talk about that once? How you wanted a movie of a stormtrooper or something like that? That was a game once.
yeah.
What was
Yeah,
the
and I
name of it
lost
that you
pretty
called
bad,
it?
but-
What was the name?
Oh shoot, I don't remember.
It was like.
Oh, that's true. You
Stormtrooper.
did say a name for it.
Life of a Stormtrooper or something.
Life of a Stormtrooper.
Just lame. I'm gonna look it up.
All right, Maverick, go ahead.
God.
Hint: there's only one right answer.
Yeah, I know. Maya's gonna kill me, but yeah, I would say Harry Potter does have to go. I'm not even gonna lie. I like Star Wars way more than I will ever like Harry Potter. Harry Potter's been milked out of everything they've got. So that's why they're reverting to this whole different story with this whole different character. I'm not saying that's not what Star Wars is doing, but at least they're doing it with like stuff from the other movies to go off of.
Right.
Yep. I mean, I agree with you guys so much that there's actually not that much that Harry Potter can be open to, unless they create some sort of the Flash type of bullshit that you can go to another dimension and shit like that. Which is, I mean, wizards can do whatever the fuck they want, whatever. But as it stands now and as it looks for the future, it's still on planet Earth. or whatever planet they're on, but it's all within their same synced universe, and there's not really too much to expand upon, as far as like Star Wars that has like different galaxies, different races, different wars, different like Siths and all that. So yeah, I agree with all of you. I'm sure some people in the audience might not. I don't want to say any names.
But
But
yeah, but what did they expect? They know we love Star Wars.
wait, on a scale of 1 to 10, like how much do you guys like Star Wars?
Dude, I mean, what kind of question is that? What kind of fucking comparison is
Yeah.
to Harry Potter, dude? I swear.
Because like I think is like they have both franchises have 2 big movies coming out this year. So I mean,
Well, I mean, a better comparison would have been Star Trek, dude. Star Trek or Star Wars. Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say Star Trek, but I'm basing it upon like the fact that they have a lot of movies out right now, and they're gonna have a lot of movies out in the future.
pussy.
Fair enough.
That's what I'm pretty much basing it off on, because I mean, Harry Potter, they're definitely gonna make more stories out of it.
Yeah, there's gonna be 5 more movies for Fantastic Beasts. I just heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the shit I don't like.
Oh yeah.
We were
That's the
talking
shit
about
I
that
don't
before.
like. Why?
Like, I mean, I would even be disappointed though if Star Wars was like, we're gonna do 5 more movies in the Rogue One spectrum of things. Like, I'm happy with them doing individual anthology series. I don't want another 5.
Oh shit! Your mic is.
Yeah, dude, I can't hear you. I thought that was my phone.
Hello.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. If there's 5 more movies, either Harry Potter or Star Wars, I don't want them to, keep following one storyline. They've already done enough of a story that like once Star Wars is done with this one, and Harry Potter already had a 7 movie run that like
Sorry. Continue.
that I think they should just keep doing a anthology, from there.
I agree. So one last thing before we
And I think
go.
that's the problem that.
Oh, keep going.
I just think that's the problem that Marvel is falling into. They're gonna have 12 or how many movies just following the same storyline. And eventually it's gonna get old, and I think they need to go more into like not necessarily individual spin-offs, but like the superhero franchise is so big at this point, like you have like room to make like a super like dark and gritty superhero movie, or like a slapstick comedy superhero movie, and like I think we need to see more of those like diverging from a set storyline.
Cool.
I don't know.
No, good point. Good point, because we definitely need to see like more variety when it comes to that type of stuff. But since I've got just one more thing to ask you guys, well, actually 2 more things, but I'll just make it into one. So when we were off air, I asked you guys like, well, I don't know if I asked you guys about the Doctor Strange trailer, but are you guys hyped for that movie still? Or is there's like separate hype? Like, I'm sort of I'm hyped for like superhero wise, and hyped for Star Wars wise, because we all know where the holidays are going with Star Wars. So, Maverick or Carlo, whoever you guys, whichever one you want to go first.
I think that's a wrong question to ask Carlo, because he's never excited for any superhero movies, and I understand.
Now, look at this nigga. He's about to go to sleep.
But I'm excited for any superhero movie, because I mean that's the shit I grew up with. That's the shit I read upon. I mean, every time I read a comic book, I would always be like, I want an adaptation out of this. But when it comes to Doctor Strange, I mean, I'm excited for it. But the more as the days go by, I'm just kind of like,
fading away.
It's another Marvel movie. I'm excited, but would I be like one of the first people? Like, I would be obviously in line for the first day it comes out, but I wouldn't be like, freaking out or be super pumped up. I'd just be like, yeah, it's just another Marvel movie that they have in plan for Infinity War. But in levels of like hypeness, like Rogue One is like up here. and Doctor Strange is like somewhere here.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how you guys feel about it.
Connor?
My big concern right now I have with Doctor Strange is like visually wise, it's like, you know, lots of stuff you see like relating with Inception, like the world flipping in on itself.
Oh, yeah.
And like what Inception did great is that it had that, but it was very subtle with it and it wasn't all over the place. I feel like with Doctor Strange, it's just going to be so much of it, so much in your face that it's just going to be too much, you know,
Right.
for anybody not dropping acid.
Hmm.
You know, it's just going to be a giant clusterfuck of like
that
visuals flying over the place.
Yeah, that's a good point. So before you go watch it, you can just go to your friendly neighborhood drug dealer and get some ecstasy, some Xanax, some something, and go watch it. Just kidding, don't do drugs. Maverick?
I'm actually pretty hyped for it. Unlike you guys, because you're old. But I'm hyped for it.
No. We're not saying that we're not hyped for it. I'm just saying that if you have a seperate hype for it other than Star Wars.
I'm saying I'm not hyped for it.
Yeah, I mean, I know you don't give a fuck, but... Okay, continue, Maverick.
I'm pretty excited to see the movie come out because I know it's gonna... Like, the cameos in Marvel movies are amazing, so I know I'm gonna see more superheroes. Like, hopefully I get to see a little bit more of Spider-Man. Hopefully if we see, like,
you just
other things
Spider-Man.
that, you know...
Yeah, Maverick's okay. Yes. As long as there's a chance of Spider-Man, he will be excited.
Okay. Even if Doctor Strange just calls him on the phone.
See, but you know...
Hey, Spider-Man.
I think that's what we talked about earlier, that is one of the problems with the Marvel Universe, is that all they do is just, like, kind of like the same formula where all they're doing is just kind of like giving you a little taste of what they're going to put out next rather than the story at hand. And I understand it's all about like universe building, but at the same time, I think that could also be
repetitive.
Not a big problem, but somewhat of a little problem when they can't even focus like the story that they have at hand, rather than being like, oh, by the way, here's Spider-Man, like for a good 30 seconds and, you know, just for a little distraction and then go back to the story. So that's why, I mean, like, and also what Connor said about comparing it to Inception, because like Inception did so well with the visuals because they kept it at such like small, you know, it was like for a quick moment. And also the longer,
but it was still amazing.
Yeah, and it's amazing. And the longer I look at these trailers and how great the effects look, kind of very Inception-wise, I'm just like, could I really handle this for like a full 10-minute worth of a sequel? I don't know.
Yeah.
It will look cool, but
movie.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't want to leave a movie with a splitting migraine.
I do.
You know?
If it's that epic, I would.
I mean, I saw the effects that they use in the trailers and everything, and honestly, I don't even know how they're gonna handle it, because in the comics there is a lot of like acid trip type of in the comics they have a fuckload of shit of that. Like they be in this like psychedelic type of background, they be fighting like in front of that fucking background that it got low. It's probably the behind like the back of the Beatles album, but they're just going at it, and if you think about it, if those were actual effects, you'd be tripping the fuck out. If there was like a 6-minute fighting scene, holy shit, like you.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty crazy.
I think they got themselves in kind of like a crapshoot because like they've shown so much in the trailers, like anything more than that, I think would be too much. But if they only had that, like that would like everything they've already shown, you know, like there needs to be more, but like they dug themselves in a corner. Like they've already shown us so much that you don't want to see more, but you almost need to see more because they've already shown it all. Like
sort of like
there has to be
Batman versus Superman trailers.
Yeah,
exactly.
I was gonna say that exactly. Yeah. Also, with this is like the first time the MCU is gonna be doing something like involving supernatural powers.
Yeah.
You know? Like with Guardians of the Galaxy, that was like a hit or miss for Marvel because it was dealing with the cosmos, you know. And
what about Thor?
That
one
hit.
showed some like powers in Thor.
What's up?
Like each time Thor, like that one showed some mystical powers, didn't it?
Yeah, but with Thor, it's very different. You can't compare Thor with Doctor Strange because they're two very different things.
Well, I really like the theory with Thor that like he's not godlike. He's not really like, all he is that his civilization is so technologically advanced that he appears godlike, and it's not magic at all. It's just they're like technologically advanced, which I think is a great aspect of Thor, like in a theory of him. So
Yeah.
like I think that's what Marvel's also like running with too, you know?
Right, and also like connecting back to my point when, like with Guardians of the Galaxy, it was like dealing with the cosmos, and it was like the first kind of the MCU. Everyone was kind of worried about that, but it ended up being a smash hit. And so with Doctor Strange, it's kind of like with the same thing, but this time it's so vastly different than the films we've seen. So I think this one could be a hit or miss for Marvel because it's so very different compared than everything we've seen.
Yeah, for sure.
Dang. Awesome. That was that was like way longer than I thought it was gonna be for Doctor Strange. But that's cool. I mean, that's good that it expanded into a little bit more. I just to put my my 2 goddamn useless fucking cents. There's something like about Doctor Strange that I started liking a while back, and that's because I don't know, I just like overpowered shit so much. So I've read also that Doctor Strange is like, he can be godlike. He pretty much can, like when it comes to the Marvel universe in the comics. And I just want to see how they tackle him. Like, I don't know if they're gonna restrict him from being too overpowered, or from having too many powers, or from I don't want them to make him weak either, for sure. But that's the only thing that I'm scared of. Like, same thing that I'm scared of with Star Wars. So Carlo can chime in on this. I saw if you guys saw the trailer, y'all saw the trailer. What the fuck am I saying? But there's different locations, and is what I was saying in the trailer reaction podcast, that there's so many locations, and they excuse me, it looks like pretty much they go to a location, they pretty much get invaded or attacked, ambush, whatever. Then they leave, go to another location, same thing happens. Leave, go to another location, same thing happens. Maybe go to another location, same thing happens. And I don't want it to be too repetitive, because there's only so much time that you can use in a movie. And after Batman versus Superman, I'm fucking traumatized that bullshit's gonna happen. So not just in a superhero movie, but in any movie. Like, I don't want any movie to be repetitive. So that, like, I'm sort of like against the fence with Doctor Strange, because I want his character like to be true, and I want his character to be like as authentic as it can be. But then again, like, I know they need to adapt into the movie and everything, just like they had to adapt Superman to fucking Dawn of Justice. They had to make him weak as fuck. They had to make him like sort of powerful, but not too powerful. When in reality, he's pretty much godlike. So, and I fucking hate the way that DC portrays Superman in the movies, but whatever.
I have an argument against that, but I'm not gonna say it.
You can say. I mean, I'm all ears. I want to hear this.
Okay, all right, boy. It's not really an argument. It's just like an opinion. But I also have heard it from my brother, who is also a big Superman fan, like a mega Superman fan. Is that this is like, for Superman, this is barely like his early stages of being Superman, because he's not really Superman, you know?
Yeah, and you see, I'm gonna chime in like right there, because like you're saying that he's at an early stage, and that's fine. Well, that's all fine and dandy that he's at an early stage, at least in the cinematic universe. But because people, when I saw that fucking Doomsday was gonna be in it, I was like, holy shit, comics time! Fucking beast, this battle about to go fucking down up in this bitch, and I was like completely and utterly disappointed, because I was looking at it from the comics perspective, that it was gonna be the most fucking like legit shit and everything. So I've talked to people, like the people that don't read comics, like my dad, some of my uncles, some of my cousins that don't read comics. They had never even heard of Doomsday. They saw the movie and they were like, that fight was pretty fucking badass, and Batman and Superman lost because he's not that like experienced yet and everything. And you know, it makes sense, like if you come at it from that perspective, like it really does, because I mean, of course you don't know shit. He doesn't know better. So I mean, from the cinematic universe, makes sense. Yeah, but I think the people, I think the people that know his character, like know like his morality, like his experience, like how good he's been, like how he's in the comics and everything. Everyone's like, oh, I want him to be just like it is in the comics, and it never is. And that's how you come out disappointed. So that's what I'm telling you. Like after that, I came out with a clean mind, like into every superhero movie I saw after that, and I was like, you know what, Suicide Squad, I'm not gonna refer Joker to anyone. I'm not gonna see Harley Quinn as anything. Deadshot is a new character. They're all new characters to me, new plotline, new everything. I'm not gonna compare anything to anything. And I saw it, and holy shit, I could not like
contain yourself.
Yeah, I couldn't like it irritates me. Like it fucking irritates me that they didn't use him the way I wanted them to use him. But then again, like fuck, I'm selfish as fuck. Like that sounds really selfish. Like y'all need to use him how I'm telling you to. Because I saw so many fucking YouTubers. Like I'm pretty sure y'all, some of you have heard of Angry Joe. That nigga was pissed as fuck that they didn't use Superman the way he was supposed to be used. And I completely agree with him 100% because like his morals, his reasoning, his way of living, his way of everything, pretty much like it wasn't portrayed like that in the movies. And like I'm telling you, from the movie's perspective, it's different. But
I think ever since the recent hiring of Jeff Johns, who's a genius in the comics, and also that he does such a great job with the television shows, and now he's like the top head producer for the DCEU. So I think with his recent hiring, I think future DC movies are going to be even better because they also said that like Justice League is going to have a lighter tone than BVS, which I'm so excited for, and Superman is going to be very different than how we saw him before, and I'm excited for that because honestly, we should be excited for these movies. We shouldn't be bashing on them because we grew up with characters.
I know.
So, but no, yeah, I have complete faith in Jeff Johns. So
I love that guy, dude. He's he's basically
the DC's
savior.
What's that producer in Marvel? What's his face?
Oh shoot.
Producer or
like he's the main producer of all these movies. What's his name?
The creator?
No, not the creator.
No, not comic books, but like
in the movie.
Oh, crap. Hey, that's pretty good because I don't remember.
It was
I completely forgot his fucking name.
Kevin Feige.
Oh. Yes, Kevin Feige. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, like he's basically DC's Kevin Feige, and I'm very, very excited to see what future DC movies that they're gonna have.
Cool.
The problem I think DC got themselves in though is they already like so much of this like great stories and comic book arcs they've already kind of ruined, which really sucks. Like with without bashing too much because I already have. Like I just felt like they and like I get the argument like your opinion doesn't matter. Like I get that. Like what do you think?
What was our slogan? Fuck your opinion.
Yes.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
But like that wasn't the Joker. Like
oh my god, not
it
this
didn't
again.
feel like a
not this.
No, I
again.
know. But it was a gangster with green hair.
I can make the argument that every Joker has a different interpretation, just like in many other comics. And as a big, huge Batman fan myself, I can say that I respect that interpretation of the Joker because back in the 80s, Jack Nicholson's Joker was like the gangster version, and then Nolan's version was the chaotic version, and I think this one is pretty much the psychotic version. And I mean, I'm totally down. I'm not.
No, I get that argument. I get that argument that each interpretation is their own, but it still follows a formula. Like the way Joker has always been is yes, he's a madman, but he's not dumb. You're supposed to there's a reason Batman doesn't kill him, and that's because he admires him, and there's a charisma about him.
It's like reverse psychology in a way.
Yeah, and there's just the way he goes at stuff that you're like, you hate him, but you also like him, and that's why the Joker is such a loved character. Like, just because you hate him and everything he does is evil and sinister, but you admire the way he goes about things, and you almost admire his heartlessness. And like, he is able to display power without doing much. Like,
And
the Joker in Dark Knight, like, the most thing he did was that he slammed a guy's eye through a pencil. And then instantly after that, you're like, whoa, this guy is crazy, but you're still like interested in him. But like with Heath Ledger's Joker, granted, I know we didn't see much about him, but there's just like no redeeming qualities. Like there's no part where you're like, whoa, this guy, you know, he's interesting. Oh, did I say Heath Ledger? I meant Jared Leto's. Yeah, Jared Leto's character. There's just nothing about him that made you be like, you know, this guy, he's a formidable opponent to Batman. Like, there's something here that's redeemable.
We bashed the complete shit, and like we bashed completely Jared Leto. Even though like some people say that we shouldn't have done so because of course we didn't even see his perform a lot. First of all, it's not his movie, so he shouldn't perform a lot. But by what I saw, I mean, well, we already talked about this, but that's not my point. My point is that like there's getting back to Luis's argument that we as like consumers of this media, of this like entertainment source, like, dude, what if in like 10-20 years like they stop making like comic book movies? Like we were pretty much alive when we saw them in theaters, you know. So I guess the thing I'm saying is that at least we can be grateful for what we have, even if it's shit, because I know Batman vs Superman was pretty much shit to me, but when I saw Batman like right in front of Superman, like in the big screen, I couldn't help but pretty much jizz because
it's early, but at least they're there.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just the thought that, dude, when I was little, I didn't even think that these people would make it out of the goddamn video game, out of a goddamn book. Like people wouldn't take interest in these stories. And the fact that they're making like these movies and having them in these big productions, like it makes me feel good that these things are getting recognized now, you know? And I guess that's just the thing. Like, I mean, we bashed the fuck out of them, but hey, at least we're getting something that some people in the future might not. So with that, I'd like to end it because we are close to an hour and a half, I believe. So thank you guys for being here. This was Nightcast number 4, and I'll see you all. I'll try to make one next week. But I will, all right, because I'd like to get good topics, but if there's no fucking good topics, then like, what the hell is this? But I hope you guys liked the topics that we had. They're pretty much
suggest some.
They're interesting. Yeah, suggest some if you have any. You can follow us all at Twitter. You can follow me at on Twitter at BPUNNK, BPunk. Or you can follow Connor at. Go ahead.
Hold on, Connor. I'm pulling it up right now. It is. Shit, what is it?
Giving out our Vine handles.
CAPT Connor 99, which is totally different than what I said earlier on the podcast. So ignore what I said earlier on the podcast. It's CAPT Connor 99, and also the channel's Twitter is Booth Tech Weekly at Booth Tech Weekly, all one word.
And you can follow Maverick at. Go ahead, Maverick.
Maverick.proctor on Instagram and just Maverick Proctor on Twitter.
Cool. What about you guys, Carlo and Luis?
And you. You could follow me on Luis Roberto _Alcazar on Instagram, and same thing on Luis Ro Alcazar on Twitter. And I'm not going to give out my Facebook name because that's only for close friends and family. But,
you post porn on
you
it.
can
Just
also
kidding.
subscribe to our channel on YouTube, which is Red Rush Films.
Yes, I was about to say it when you guys were done. Sorry, Carlo, go ahead.
No one's watching this, so it's pointless.
Oh, shut up. Dude, last one. Save the best for last.
All right. Obviously, Vine.
Oh boy.
My Twitter handle.
Okay, there's a reason why I don't mention my Vine here.
Oh yeah. But it's Carlo _Becerra. For everything.
Awesome. Yeah, and like Luis said, you guys can also subscribe to Red Rush Films on YouTube, and God, are they good and funny as fuck. I always like to support these guys, and they're really cool guys, like overall, and the work that they do, The fact that they're starting at a really young age is very inspiring for me personally, because I like to see people that lead on to the industry as like as young as pretty much before y'all are 25 years old. Like I'm going to the gaming industry in fucking like 2 years or some shit like that, and I'm probably gonna get shit for it, but I don't care. I like people who just pretty much follow what they love at such a young age, because that just means that the dedication is there from like the early beginnings, the very start. So thank you guys for being here today. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Connor, for coming as well. Hopefully you can make it next week.
Of course.
Maverick, if you'd
Yeah,
like to
for
come
sure.
next week as well, you're also
If we
invited.
didn't anger you too bad.
No, best believe I didn't put Spider-Man up in those comparisons because he's boy. Just kidding.
Thank you.
I have no reason to go against Spider-Man.
Yeah, same. I'm just poking fun. But all right. Thank you guys for being here, and we will see you guys next week in Nightcast number 5. Take care.
All right.
All right. Good night.
Night.